5:33, it's May 1st, so we'll call the meeting of the Ayer Board of Health to order. Does anybody have anything to say in public input? Yes? Let me give you names, sir.
Sure.
I'll come down if you want.
Whatever you need me to do, I can speak loud.
Just come down here and they can see your terrific face on TV and hear you.
Turn around, face you guys.
No, just sit right down there.
Right. Sure. So this is Don Osmer. I live at 1 Mulberry Circle in Ayer, and I'm here to discuss the "here we go again" issue of the odor that emanates from the company across the street from my house, which is Vitasoy.
Okay.
So on several occasions recently, I've had called or sent emails to the Board of Health, to the Mass DEP, reporting an odor. It's been verified a number of times. I think in recent times I can count right off the top of my head 7 times that it's happened. And I think we went through this with the board previously. We went through this with the Board of Selectmen previously. And there was, a discussion around the changes that were being made to solve the issue from the company. Good faith effort on their part to make those changes. I understand that. But here we are again. And we're held hostage in our homes. And, whether you want to use that term or not, it doesn't matter. That's what applies. We can't open our windows. We go outside. We continually smell the odor. And, I'm not sure where we go from here, quite honestly. I've gotten a response back from the DEP that they receive from the company. When they do get a response, they don't share them all with me, but the most recent was that there's been an added shift or an added line. There's additional wastewater, could be the sludge coming, they're trucking out, that's causing the odor, whether it's a spill, I'm not sure, but there never seems to be, at least from my view, I haven't talked to other residents, but from my view, any consequences to the company. And that's just plain and simple. I mean, we're residents of the town. We're fed up with it. I can't go outside and do stuff because I got to smell this. We get to a point where we think, oh, it's over, it's done, but back it comes. So I'm sure tonight we're going to hear that they're doing other things or there's other reasons why, but I never hear a definitive answer. And quite honestly, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So please tell me what's going to be done to stop this, and not just we're making some changes. It's got to end, folks.
Okay. I have a letter here from a sanitarian, Bridget Brady, and this was April 26th. And it was to Ross Gada, Nasoya, USA, odor complaints. I don't have to read every single word unless you want me to. However, the Ayer Board of Health has received numerous odor complaints over the past week in regards to Nasoya, USA. The complaints came in from several residents of Ayer by phone and email. The first complaint came in on 4/19. And I had subsequent complaints on 4/21, 4/23, 4/24, and 4/25. The odor is described as a strong sulfur sewage odor. Would that describe it perfectly?
Right, yes.
These complaints were verified by me or other agents at the Neshoba Associated Boards of Health. As I'm sure you are well aware, these odor issues have been ongoing since 2008. On December 1st, 2016, I met with Neil Middleton from Nasoya and Michelle Delmar, DEP, at the Nasoya plant. The purpose of this meeting was to discuss a series of odor complaints that were received by the Board of Health starting November 14th, 2016. The smell was so severe that it could be detected in Littleton. Again, we had numerous complaints come in by phone and email. The complaints were from Ayer residents as well as Littleton residents. I was assured at this meeting that Nasoya would address these complaints and the issues surrounding the wastewater treatment facility that were causing the odor. Since that meeting, there have been numerous complaints filed through the Board of Health office and the Board of Selectmen's office. The odors from this operation are a violation of 310 CMR 7.09, dust, odor, construction, and demolition. 1, no person having control of any dust or odor generating operations such as, but not limited to, asphalt batching plants, asphalt roofing materials manufacturing plants, asphalt blowing plants, foundries, chemical products manufacturing plants, incinerated, fuel utilization facilities, petroleum product manufacturing plants, aggregate manufacturing plants, food preparation or processing facilities, wood products plants, dry cleaning establishment, paint and varnish manufacturing plants, paper manufacturing plants, leather and manufacturing, concrete batching plants, metal coating and treatment plants, land clearing operation, construction work, dump operation, agriculture operations, street sweeping shall permit emissions, therefore, for which cause or contribute to a condition of air pollution. Air pollution means the presence in the ambient airspace of one or more air contaminants, therefore in such concentrations and duration as to cause a nuisance, be injurious, or to be on the basis of current information, potentially injurious to human or animal life, to vegetation or to property, or unreasonably interfere with the comfortable enjoyment of life and property or the conduct of business. The Ayer Board of Health will be discussing the matter at the meeting on 5/1/17. It will be my recommendation that an order be issued to this facility to abate the documented conditions of air pollution. If the facility has a plan to abate the issue, you would be encouraged to be present for that information to the Board of Health as of this meeting. Please contact me at the Neshoba Board of Health office if you have any questions, and this is from Bridget Brayley. So we'll let the board come forward and tell us what their plans are for this. And I had a contract with her today, and she did say that she felt that, number one, we should issue an order of conditions for this. That is, soon as she received the information, and it should be tomorrow, what that will start is she will get a certified letter out, which is the way we do things. She will also contact the DPW superintendent. He needs to be in on this with Mass DEP, and generally we give 30 days for this to be cleared up. If it requires anything further, we need to be kept informed of this. It may extend to 60, but I want to first hear what Nasoya has to say tonight. But you're absolutely right. There's nothing worse than that smell. We're into summer, and you shouldn't have to go through this another year. So I invite Nasoya to come.
Could I add to my comment, which is,
yes.
Given that there's a 30 or 60-day window to give them a chance to clean it up, and nothing happens during that time frame, what happens after? When does this go to a point where we say, you have to stop operation until you figure this out? Because, you know, we've when was it last year? We just mentioned we were in this meeting. We discussed the fact that this was going to end. It hasn't ended.
Right.
So when does it happen that we drop the hammer and say, folks, you got to stop this, and if you don't, these are the consequences. I'm a taxpayer in the town, just like they have a tax amount that they pay to the town.
Absolutely.
Theirs is obviously larger than mine, but the simple fact is that I live there, and I come home to this, or I get a call from my wife and son saying this is happening. So what happens after 30 or 60 days? And it starts happening again. Do we then go into another 30 to 60 days? We give them another chance to clean up. What happens then? That's what I want to know, because there hasn't been anything that says these are clear consequences for if you don't do this. You are violating the law. That's what I'm hearing.
And this is why I want to hear what their plans are now, because No one wants to shut down a good business, but by the same token, residents have a right to a quality of life.
Sure, thank you, yes.
So
Okay.
if we could have them come forward and tell
Sure.
us what the plan is. I see my old friend in the corner there, John Wareham, who's been part of this for a long time, some of the newer people too. And just for anybody listening, I was down in Don's place there, and God, this must be, is it 8 years? It seems that. He said, I invite you to come down, park on my property, get out of your car and just take a deep breath, which I did. So, and I know that as far as Neshoba Board of Health goes, our agents have been coming back at night from home to come down there.
They've been
So,
fantastic. They
yes.
really have. And
They're-
they've responded, and I really
yes, they
appreciate
have.
that.
So I'd like to
Okay.
hear what Nasoya has to say.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Ready for Nasoya? Okay.
Yeah?
Well, I'm not the expert here. My name's Tom Perry. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Nasoya.
Okay.
And first of all, I want to apologize to the board for having to go through this again, which it sounds like you've done a number of times before, and to any neighbors, Mr. Osmond, any other neighbors that are here. I'm here on behalf of the executive team.
Okay.
We are fully committed to fixing this problem. As early as this morning, I met with the U.S. CEO and committed any funds and any resources that are needed to fix this problem. To do that, we've assembled a team of engineers and operations people from across the country, as well as a third-party consulting firm. And you know some of them, yes?
Thank you.
We've also engaged a third-party consulting engineering firm to help us understand the problem and fix it. We've done all that, and I'm going to turn this over to Neil, who you know.
Thank you.
These guys are the experts who can answer the questions. I can only assure you that we're committed to fixing it. I know you probably heard that again, as Mr. Osborne has probably heard that before as well. We're under new management now. We're undergoing changes. The last thing we want to do is be a bad neighbor, and that's what we're shooting to try to fix.
So when you say new management, since the last time they were here?
I don't know what the last time they were here, but we were purchased by Poma Foods in May of last year, so we're no longer Vitasoy.
Okay.
Vitasoy.
No, I know that.
That was in May of last year.
Yes,
Okay.
so they were here since then. That been the same ownership. But we're fully committed to fixing that again. I'm here from the executive team. Ross Gata, who you mentioned earlier, and I talked this morning, and again got full commitment from him and from the executive team to commit any funds and resources that are needed.
So have you spoken with the DPW superintendent?
I haven't. This would be Neil can go over who they've talked to.
With Mark?
Yeah.
Yes, I've spoken to him a couple
Okay.
times.
Well, why don't you go through what you say is going to happen, or what's causing this?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure. Well, just for those of you that may not know me, my name is Neil Middleton. I'm the production manager with Nasoya. I've been with the company just about 3 years. So I went through this in July of 2015, I guess it was. And at that time, we had made a number of changes to the system and improvements after the original install of the wastewater system in 2014. We went probably about 12 to 15 months where I believe it was relatively calm and there weren't really any complaints. And we continued to update the system through that time frame. And then I guess back November of last year, we started to have some odor and started to have the complaints rise again. So just what I passed out, I'll go through. I'll try to explain it as best I can. As Tom mentioned, we have some other members of our team here as well that are a little bit more in tune with the system that can answer any questions that you may have. But on behalf of the entire Nasoya team, we appreciate the opportunity to discuss the recent odor complaints and provide you a comprehensive update on the changes we are implementing immediately to remedy the situation. I know that we've heard from the neighbors that it has gone on and gone on and gone on, but I just want everybody to know that we are putting our attention towards it. We are trying to improve the system. We've done a lot of things. New things have come up, and we're very focused on what needs to be done in order to improve the system moving forward.
And this is a huge thing with the neighbors. I think maybe 2 years ago, we had standing room only in here
Yep.
with everybody because of the severity of it and no quality of life for them.
And like I said, most importantly, we're aware of the recent complaints and are very sensitive to the odor and committed to resolving it in a timely manner. We take this very seriously and are immediately taking action to correct. In an effort to resolve the odor, we're taking the following actions. So we met with our consulting team, and we've devised our action plans into 3 different areas. I'll go through each one individually. So the first one is our wastewater system itself. We have 2 scrubbers that are part of the process, and really make or break, the design of the system. We realized that we needed to do an intense acid wash on that system to prevent any odors from occurring. That was completed this past weekend, so that has been completed. The second item is wastewater piping anti-siphon vent. We're going to be rerouting that to on top of one of the bioreactors, so that would prevent, if there was a chance for any off-gas or odor that we have in the system now, that would, by the redesign, that would prevent any of that off-gas or that odor to dissipate out into the air. So the work is to start on that this week, and we expect to have that completed by May 15th. The third one that falls under the wastewater system is we put in a new system, where we're going to be implementing a new system where we're going to have a 2-stage scrubbing with existing scrubber units by connecting the outlet duct of the smaller scrubber to the inlet of the larger scrubber. So what this will do essentially is it will increase the efficiency of our scrubbing process right now, and that's where we feel that some of the odor is generated from through that scrubbing process itself. And that is estimated to be completed by June 15th. That's going to take a little bit more time to get completed, but we feel confident that we can have that completed by June 15th. So those 3 main things, as I said, when we met with our consulting team, those were the 3 main action plans related specifically to the wastewater system itself. The next 2 areas relate to our production. As Don had mentioned, and some of the feedback that he had gotten from the DEP, we did recently install a new line in our facility. It's a world-class, efficient production line. However, with that, there was some learning curve as far as the amount of water used on that line, as well as the calcium sulfate waste, which is it goes into our product. However, if there's waste, then that needs to be taken care of. So the first one is moving forward, any calcium sulfate waste from the tofu making process, it's going to be pumped to a sludge holding tank that we have. It will be hauled off-site for disposal. So that is different from where we were last week and 2 weeks ago. That calcium sulfate waste was getting into the wastewater stream. It was going through the wastewater system. And the calcium sulfate is a key contributor of the sulfur smell and odor. So we changed that process on Friday. So that is no longer going into the wastewater system. That is being hauled off-site for the calcium sulfate. And the second item, which goes along with the new line, is we're going to be removing the majority of the tofu whey, which is the excess tofu that doesn't go in the product, which is disposed through the wastewater system. We reroute the waste byproduct to the sludge tanks and haul that off-site as well. So again, that'll minimize the amount of whey, or the extra product, if you will. Instead of it going to our wastewater system, that'll be hauled off-site as well.
Yeah, how often?
As often as it needs to be.
Does that mean daily?
If need be, yes.
If need be, yes.
Okay. Because you're talking about something standing there that has the smell to it.
It'll be in a tank, and then it'll be.
There'll be no
It
odor
won't
from
sit.
that
It won't
tank.
sit. No. And then the last one is under what we call our hauling or odor control bucket. Right now we have a storage tank that's outside our facility. We call it a 26K tank, but it's essentially a holding tank. That tank previously wasn't tied into the scrubber, and on 428 we've redesigned that system. So now that tank, in order to be pumped out, that will go through the scrubber system as well. So I know, like I said, I've been part of this for 3 years now, and and we presented to different boards our action plans, and we continue to be back up here. But I would tell you that we're doing a lot of things. We've done a lot of things throughout the last 3 years. There's 6 or 7 of us here tonight that are committed. I know last time people said people weren't around, right? But Tom was here 3 years ago. I was here. Elvin was here. John's come and gone and came back for more fun. So
We're old friends.
I would tell you, we don't have the new faces. The faces that were here 3 years ago are here again. That we've been through it. We understand it, and I just want the board to understand that we are committed. Financially motivated, whatever it takes, and we want to be a good neighbor. That's our goal. Yeah. So.
Now, at any time during this process, have you had any discussion with Mark Wetzel, the DPW superintendent?
The discussion that we've had with Mark Witzel was more related to our wastewater discharge permit and our flow to the town. So right now we're capped at 150,000 gallons of water to the town. That's what's in our permit. And the discussions that we were having was what was the availability to increase that permit, which would minimize the amount of product or wastewater that we would need to haul off-site. Because like I said on that last example, the last one, when we have these trucks coming in, if they're not vented, and Elvin can help me out a little bit here, but if they're not vented correctly, that odor dissipates into the air, or could potentially dissipate into the air.
We'd like to add that because of the inconsistencies at time with the truckers that are coming in to haul, we've added that extra layer of protection and has a complete venting, piping of the haul hookups, if you will, and we completed that last week. And also just like to add, since we know we have a history, and a history that dates back to 2008, and I have to say that I was the former vice president of operations dating back then, so in large part some of those problems were my problem. And I have to apologize to everyone in here probably for not being aggressive and as good at my job as I should have been back in the day, because it took a while to get our Vitasoy board of directors, if you will, to move forward in some correction steps. But I'm here to say that I'm kind of like a bridge, if you will, from old to new, and can promise you a couple of different things. Is that what took months at times under the Vitasoy ownership is literally will take hours under this new company, the soy by the #1 company in the world, Pullman. So a lot of what's going to happen here, and get a sense of the commitment with Brian Kim and all this has gone all the way to Sol Korea in terms of we will be a good neighbor.
And we're fully committed to, the new company is fully committed to this location. We just bought, again, the new machine we put in is the largest machine in the world for making tofu. And a lot of the odors come from debugging that machine. Nobody else has this machine. So once we debug it, we'll be able to understand the problems it's creating and be able to understand how to fix those. That's why we have this team together, and Brian here is an expert from both overseas and the U.S., and he's an expert engineer for all
We
over.
already invested more than $6 million last 1 year, and even with the kind of investment, our first priority is environmental friendly, some kind of price and some intentions. So we really sorry for this kind of things happen again, but as of the first tofu manufacturing company in the world, we will try to solve and invest any some amount of budget to solve these issues without any questions.
I think we need to separate Vitasoy because they're two different, completely
There's no
different
question
management teams.
that we're bringing a history here, and I'm sure that you've heard that history and you saw our smell, and
But-
that you're probably saying you've seen this over and over again.
History may be different, the smell's the same.
Okay, we were talking two companies. When I was the CFO with Vitasoy as well, they were not committed to tofu in the U.S. Poma One, who owns us, is committed to tofu. The last thing they want to be is a bad neighbor. And we will, the money is just ready to go. As soon as these guys have a plan, it's approved by whoever it needs to be approved by, it'll be done. As you can see, a lot of the remediation efforts have already taken place.
I think testimony to that commitment, is that we're involved in the due diligence process when Home Alone first entered, looking at our company, Vitasoy. They could have easily just bought the brand. They could have easily moved these state-of-the-art lines to their other facilities in New York, California. But they said, we want to be in Ayer, we want to be in the state of Massachusetts, we want to demonstrate that the newest, latest state-of-the-art equipment belongs in the United States, belongs in this plant. And with that, as Brian said, millions of dollars are slated for the latest round of installation, but at the same time, it's the infrastructure and facility other issues and the demonstration of being a very quiet, good neighbor. We've had that, that is an intense feeling that permeates from Fort Creek all the way through everything we do. So if we're here to say anything, we know we have history, but if we can give an opportunity to someone who came to the United States and showed some commitment to Ayer, some commitment to the facility and those employees, over 150 employees, that we're going to put this state-of-the-art thing right here, and then we're going to be the predominant producer of tofu in the United States. And with that comes a serious personal commitment from Ross Gada to our chairman, Mr. Lee in Korea, to everyone in this room, that we will fix this, we will stand behind it, and granted, we should have some abatement, granted, we should be seeing some type of repercussion, but we have no problem with that, because we're going to fix it.
Board members.
I think my biggest concern, and you know, I understand what you're saying, that there's been changes in companies and that you've been doing focus now. That does take some time. But I'm really sympathetic to the neighbors that are feeling this and seeing this as always a reactionary thing. Oh, this odor. Oh, okay, now we've got to go do this or go do that. I'm really concerned about your project planning. That, are you considering these things? Are you doing risk analysis? Is odor abatement part of your risk analysis when you start to look at implementing new processes and new equipment?
I'll let the engineering folks talk about it, but certainly, again, like I said, this is a brand new system. So I think we lost a lot of it. We've been making tofu overseas in Korea and Japan and the U.S. for decades. But this is a brand new process that nobody knew what to expect coming out of it. They certainly did a lot of research, Brian and his team, both here in the U.S. and Korea, spent a lot of time designing, understanding, working with the manufacturers to understand exactly what was going to happen. And unfortunately, we had a couple of day incident in April that they got away from us. Now we've got a team that I certainly understand. There's nothing worse, believe me. I had to drive into that building. You guys have to deal with it. We had to drive in, and nobody likes the smell of that.
This is actually the biggest and first machine about in the world so far. So this one also using a lot of that, especially calcium sulfate coagulant for manufacturing, making tofu, biggest volume in the world. So in Korea, Japan, China, as well as another location in the United States, the Los Angeles and New York area, we didn't have this kind of happen so far. So it's our something misestimation was some certain area, but still, fortunately, we identified these issues pretty quickly because we already had some pre-study or something like that. So that's why we clearly identified that kind of quick action, separating the waste calcium sulfate from the process, that kind of things. It made the change a lot last 5 or 6 days with very stable odor condition with other activity also.
I should add too that it's not like we're acting right now just because of this particular event. I think we kicked in a significant reassessment. And to your point, we did not do a very good job of the total assessment of what this new line would do to us. But we've kicked this in with a lot of intensity, actually starting well before April 19th, which is when we had kind of an anomaly event that started, I think, a lot of what's going on in recent days.
Yeah.
However, we've listed in management risk and also in our evaluation that we needed to upgrade our scrubbers, we needed to actually go to the town and ask for more water.
Yeah.
I know that might be a little counterintuitive, saying, geez, you got all these
No,
problems,
makes
but you
makes
need more
sense to me.
water.
Yeah. Actually, yes.
So our system, which, is doing an extremely good job on the previous issues, if you will, the solids and the BOD
Mhm,
loads
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah,
However, and I know it seems a little backwards, but what's hurting us is the fact of storing water now, or the fact of our flows
Yeah, I
of our
understand
new
that.
lines
Mhm.
versus where we had to store water and ship water because we couldn't treat it very well. So
Yeah.
we're well ahead of the treating side of the equation. However, and that's why Neil will be going with the DPW and asking for, increases in the flows, which
Yeah.
we can easily handle from the BOD and the solid side of the equation. And will go a long way in eliminating the residual waters that are staying on the plant
Yes,
that will
yes.
put us at risk for an odor
Yeah.
condition. But we've been working on this. Knowing, actually started, I think, in Thanksgiving weekend when we had gone for months and then had an isolated event, followed
Yeah,
up with
yeah.
an event in February, and I think another one in March, and to this one. So,
yeah,
so all I can say is that what took months of somewhat indifference at times from our former board of director of Vitasoy,
yeah.
literally, from Ross Scotta all the way through, talking every other day, talked 3 times today, and saying, are we going to be okay in terms of presenting the fact that we are 100% committed to being that good neighbor,
Yeah.
and to grow our plant, obviously, and to be the number 1 tofu. And we're here to say, yes, we are absolutely committed to that. I know it's hard for you to accept that, so I'm just asking for a little bit of separation in past history
Correct.
and give this team a chance to demonstrate credibility to you over the next 30 to 60 days.
Past history just means that you're going to be really held to a high standard.
Well,
because
and I tell you.
this is one of those,
All right.
once that smell gets
All right,
under your
you know
skin or under your
Right.
nose, it's.
Right. You know what is funny? I'm going to say, I know we're going to be held to a high standard, and we want that, and we demand
Good.
it.
Good.
And we have no problem with that, because we're going to fix it. And we know, we're going wide into it, but we have credibility issues. And we want to demonstrate to you that whatever standard, whatever consequences that are coming in 30 to 60 days, please just issue them, because we know we're going to fix it.
Okay. And I understand that there are going to be, these kind of once in a while things, and nothing is ever going to operate perfectly. I just want to impress upon you the uniqueness of your geographical location, where you may have other facilities that are in more industrial areas where, you don't have this residential component, but it's really critical that when you guys are doing planning, when you're looking at risks, that you're not just looking at the risks of manufacturing and output and cost. You've also got to consider, the neighborhood as a factor in that risk analysis.
Absolutely.
So,
Understood.
hold us to this standard, and let us show you that we will meet that standard. Give us a chance to establish credibility as One, the leading tofu maker in the world. And not judge us on our past history when we weren't very good. And like I
Right.
said, I was responsible for a lot of that. I was not good in pushing what I needed to do at the time I needed to do it. And I deeply apologize for that, because
Well,
a lot of that history is because of, inaction in that regard.
Yeah.
However, we're here now with a brand new team and a brand new
Yeah.
company.
And from a regulatory standpoint, the past is the past, and what was done then was done then on both sides. And I know you understand, I don't really need to keep reiterating it, but it's that sensitivity of the neighbors, and that, oh my God, here we go again. That's where the past comes
Yeah.
back to you.
Oh, yeah.
and means
And
that
rightfully
you're going to be judged.
I think we just need to, again, John has said it and we talked about it, we need to separate the two companies. Vitasoy was a beverage company. They didn't make tofu. Home One is a tofu company. That's all we do. So we have a focus on that, and we want to make sure that what we're doing is is sensitive to all the communities.
So of all the things on the list, that you've got several things that were completed between the 28th and the 30th. How much of the problem do you feel like can be, will be abated with things that you've already done? And what do we really, shouldn't we be expecting to see until you get things going on May 15th and then June 15th?
Well, the June 15th, you can jump in, please.
So I made recommendations for source reduction. So source reduction, reduce the waste stream at the sources, at the production lines, segregate them from the pretreatment system, the wastewater system. That's not the source of the odor. The source of the odor is actually the sulfate that's in the wastewater, in the wastewater as a result of the production facility. So it winds up in the wastewater system, it's overwhelmed because of the changes that have been made recently. So source reduction of the calcium sulfate, and that segregation of that waste stream has taken place.
Okay.
It's not 100% captured because there's always going to be some of that sulfate in the discharge to the pretreatment system, but those measures should have pulled it back quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's the majority of the sulfur in this wastewater. The second source, largest source, second largest source, you would say, is the tofu whey, and the capture of the majority of that whey is going to take place in the next couple weeks. So the fact that the odors have actually come down substantially just since this last week, end of last week, I think speaks volumes to the calcium sulfate isolation, if you will. So the next step would be the tofu whey.
Yes.
And then the rest of it, the modifications to the scrubbers, of getting the wastewater discharge, the volume increase, capacity, those are not, those are just going to help. That's not the biggest.
But I think the increase in the scrubber, which we should be able to do pretty quickly as we've expedited some.
In the scrubbers were always safety, if you will, on the wastewater plant. They're not, that was just a safety device.
Actually, current capability or capacity of the odor eliciting scrubber, it is good for some general and normal operations.
Right.
But what if something happen in abnormal situations? It's hard to handle that kind of situation. That's why we already prepared that the modification and upgrade about 3 months ago when we had some November situations.
Yeah.
So that's why we can provide that plan very quickly. It is already ongoing process to make modification and upgrade within about 4 to 6 weeks.
I guess back to your point that you were making in terms of our risk management, knowing that we fell down in the initial project, always have been kind of like living on the edge, if you will, of the scrubber, wanting to increase, wanting to make sure that we're not, we don't want to run normal. We want to protect abnormal.
Yeah.
And that started right after that last event when we were really blindsided over Thanksgiving, saying, what's going on? Yeah. So I'm sure when you say what's going on, you need to understand we're sitting around saying what's going on.
We already completed the design. We already completed the proposals, and we placed the order last week. It could be completed within 6 weeks.
Okay.
So again, I just want to reinforce, hold us to a high standard. And to your point, there should be consequences, and we welcome the consequences.
Even without upgrade the scrubbers, we solved the issue with some quick actions. But
some workarounds.
This scrubber modification will be ensured and the kind of second.
Some redundancy in the system.
So that's encouraging. It sounds like the things that you were able to do quickly are going
Because
to be.
we already prepared a lot of things, not only that things, but other things for this type of incident.
And to be quite honest with you, on April 24th, this past Monday, we came into a pretty rough odor situation, I'm sure. That was Monday the 24th. and that order event lasted into Tuesday, Wednesday. But on the 24th, calls were made. We had a crisis team in our conference room. I came in roughly about 5 in the morning. We were talking at 5:30 in the morning. We were bringing everybody together and saying, what is going on? We need to be all over this.
So,
But when you have an event, generally lasts for 2 or 3 days.
Company owner, he's in Korea right now. He handled more than $10 billion businesses. This week's most concern is the incident. I should be left to him to more detail after this meeting also, what is process or something like that. And much very big aware right now in the entire group of the Kumon operations.
And just so we have a manager report dated April 26th that was sent out to our chairman, highlighted the significant odor issues that were going on, and saying that we needed every single resource available to help us quickly correct this. And that's whether it's a team of environmental experts from our parent company to our consultants that were sitting here. And that was issued on the 26th of April in response to what I thought was the worst I've ever smelled on our site on April 24th.
Is that a temperature dependent
Not really.
thing? Is there any?
This time,
So I was wondering, Monday was kind of warm, right? But that's not really a factor.
Well,
Okay.
it was, like Neil was saying, it was pretty stable
Yeah.
for like a year, and then, this production line came on, and
Yeah.
I think it surprised everyone with
The unknowns of
waste,
mainline trip, there's no question.
Yeah.
Definitely
the
trip.
volume of water that's
Fortunately,
consumed.
we identified the issue because of these same issues, and we already prepared something and preparation against the findings.
But yes, one of the action steps, though, if you could pass on to DEP, hopefully the minutes of this meeting, and maybe, help move the increase in the water permit, which will then just gives us another layer of protection in building a field site for the entire operation.
Now, do you intend, John, to ask Mark Wetzel for that, or when, or that
Yeah,
will be part?
Yeah,
I think we
that's-
should,
we're meeting on Friday.
We're going to meet on
Okay.
Friday and going to start to swing at that.
okay.
We're going to show great results that we've had on the wastewater upgrade that clearly resolved a lot of the previous issues, if you want to talk history, previous issues of the BOD side or the solid side. However, as the last few weeks have demonstrated, we still struggle on the odor, and that's what we want to really address now. Go at it and we'll check it. But any additional flow is kind of, taking advantage of that previous insulation would be of help to us.
Have you gotten any early feedback at all?
No, we
have
just
any
served it up,
sense of
and I
which way
think,
that's going?
that, Neil, correct me
It's-
if I'm wrong, I think he's kind of like saying there may be some
It
capacity.
sounded like there was capacity available,
Okay.
and he was looking into his industrial permit,
Mhm.
um, and then so we're gonna meet on Friday and discuss it.
Okay, good.
We can say, though, I think that our flows contribute greatly to the balancing of the
Oh,
flows
absolutely.
in the air-water plants. So there's a balancing, obviously, and our 150,000 gallons a day helps immensely
Yeah.
in not only the helping in justification of the expansion of the plant, but also in the town of Ayer ultimately meeting their particular discharge limits. So it may be a win-win, for
Yeah.
both of us. If you have that
Yeah,
extra
sure.
water capacity that we could grab, it will then just gives us that additional layer of protection in this situation.
Okay, good. So you're already scheduled to meet on that. That's a good thing.
Any questions from you, Patricia?
No, I just want to make sure that Mr. Osmer and the other neighbors feel good about this meeting. As far as consequences, I know that was your question, but
I mean, at this point, there is no credibility, right? These guys
Yeah.
want to build credibility, actions speak louder than words.
Yep.
I'm tired of the issue. You walk into a facility, that's my home.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't business, this isn't personal normally, but you brought it into my home. And that makes it
I
personal.
understand it. I'm saying
So,
since.
I'm talking right now, okay? So you make it personal in that respect, and that's the challenge. My son is in my home, my wife is in my home. You brought it into my home, and you've said this before. You've said it numerous times. We are going to change. We are going to make a difference. Now it's a new company. Before it was a new wastewater system. Now it's a new company, and they're putting money into it. We have a history. Yeah, that's not my fault. That's yours. Actions speak louder than words. If you don't solve it this time, I'm not sure where we go. I'm really not sure where we go from here. I would hope that the town would certainly take serious action around this. And one of the things that I would say is the rest of us in the town are under a water ban, right? And you're asking for 50,000 gallons more, and we're under a water ban. And you cause an odor that creates issues to the town, and you're asking for more water. What do we get out of that? Nothing, except an odor in our house. So I would hope that the board understands that this is a problem that needs to be serious, and that there is consequences this time around.
Yeah,
And
I think we
I
have
will raise
Yep.
it again, I'll raise it Wednesday at the
Absolutely.
Board of
Yeah.
Selectmen, because they're gonna hear about this as well.
to. Yep.
Do you feel any different after sitting here and listening to any of the guidelines and the money that's being spent on this?
Hey, it's great that they're doing this, it's great that they're making the effort, but nothing is gonna change unless they change it and make the actions speak louder than words.
Okay.
If the odor goes away, great. That's what I'm here for. I'd love to say that I could even sell my house and move out of town if I had to do that, but I can't. You know why? Because the next person that comes and sees my house and visits my house and smells the odor is gonna wanna buy a house like that. So, those are challenges that I have, and whether you like to hear it or not, that's just what it is.
Right.
That's just what it is. So I hope you do solve the issue. I really do. So I don't feel any different at this point because we've been here before.
You're still waiting, yeah.
Right, we have to see actions. I
Exactly.
understand that. And I know that you and your neighbors are aware of this, but
And by the
most
way, this
definitely,
is-
you make even calls.
I'm here, right? There are, I know for a fact, 50 more houses in my neighborhood saying
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah,
They just may not have the time to come here, and we saw this the last time around, how many people were in this room,
yeah.
Correct.
right? So it isn't just me. I may appear to be the bad guy, and I'm okay being the bad guy. But there are a lot more people out there that are not happy about this.
You're right. There are a lot of
Yeah,
homes
point taken.
in that affected area.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
All
Don.
right,
Thank
thanks.
you.
So the wish of the board, you have the recommendation from our health agent.
Yes, I agree with Bridget's recommendation that we should issue an order to abate the conditions. I think, what has been done is good, but I still think we should issue the order to abate just to have it on the record. And we are going to need to keep a very close eye on this over the next, few weeks. I know that you've implemented some things that should immediately make things better. So if we're over this next period of 2 to 3 weeks still getting a lot of complaints, you're going to be back again.
Is
And
that a
DEP
motion?
is probably going to be here. That is a motion.
That is the motion.
Yes.
And given, and do I have a second?
Second the motion.
Okay, so the motion is to issue the order of conditions as was in Bridget Braley's letter here. And I think we've had all the discussions, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I think just for the record too, that if we need to have a further meeting,
Mhm.
that we should just have a public hearing for that particular issue and
Yeah.
not have it at a regular Board of Health meeting, because it isn't fair for anybody else that's here for an issue to have to sit around. So that's what we'll
Yeah.
do. So we'll notify
Yeah.
Bridget Braley tomorrow,
Yep.
and she
The order will be
can get
issued.
going the order of conditions, and let's hope we don't have to come back here.
Agreed.
All right.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right.
We don't see
We
you
wish
later.
all- we wish you the
Thank
best
you.
too.
I'll see you
Thank you.
later.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
John.
Take care now.
Bye-bye. Okay. All right.
It was interesting to me because I don't have the history
Yeah.
like you guys did, but I
Yes.
really, I really wanted to hear that, what they were, how they broke it down.
History that Mary has, because
Right,
this does
right.
go back to what, 2008?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
And
Some of this looks very.
John Wareham
Yeah.
was here when it was Nasoya the first time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I apologize that you had to wait, like I didn't realize it was going to be so long, so, okay, 41 East Main Street.
Wait, this is not a public hearing.
No, it
So
isn't.
the purpose of this is just to set the date.
Excuse me, I'm running the meeting.
Okay.
I asked them to come up, excuse me.
Okay.
I want you here, I asked Pam to look at it. I want to hear what they have to say, and then we'll set the date.
Okay.
So, okay, when you submitted this, since Pam was kind of front and center on it the first time, and you know she was the one that voted against it, I asked her if she'd come in here and review everything, which she did. And I'm going to, well, do you want to speak first, or do you want Pam to?
If we could just say, if you don't mind, just
No, I
take a
don't
minute.
mind at all.
Okay.
Based on feedback that was received at the planning board, we've revised the plans, as you know. The plans include, the highlights of the plan in terms of the special permit that was issued for the project are, there's been a reduction in the overall impervious area on the site. And based on parking requirements and feedback from the planning board, we've incorporated 4 units that include 2-car garages, so we plan on parking in the garages. The driveways included with those would be made of porous paver system, which is essentially like a porous pavement, but with precast pavers that allow stormwater into a stone cross-section below that's intended to both treat and infiltrate the runoff from the driveway.
Which was something I think you had all had thought would be a good idea, so we moved in that direction.
So essentially, the planning board has kicked this back to you for feedback based on the original special permit. What we would hope to do is, given that we feel that the plan is better environmentally speaking within the aquifer, is to, since there's an existing special permit that's been issued, consider this a minor change and take the plans that we've submitted in your record under the special permit that's already been issued. We don't feel the need to reopen a hearing based on the fact that we think this is an improvement over what you actually approved. We can certainly, I'd like to hear what Pam has to say.
Did everybody get a copy of at least the cover letter from David Ross Associates with about 12 or 14 bullet points?
Yep.
And those highlights not only reference the changes, but it's the latter of, I think, the second page that has...
Yeah, really the last 3 bullet items I think are key to the point I was trying to make, is that the impervious coverage has been decreased from 40.2% to 33%. The building coverage on the lot's gone down from 29.4 to 22.8. And there's been a slight change in the open space that's been provided, but some of that includes our porous paver system.
The driveways got a
Right.
little bit bigger, but they're pervious.
We've reduced pavement from the existing portion of the site. While we're paving, we're reducing the overall paved area.
So the driveway plan for the existing structure has been modified and reduced in size.
And we've actually provided a couple of grass swales in that location to take that flow. So while prior there was no treatment, now there's at least some aspect to treat that runoff. So again, we think it's an overall improvement in, again, asking the board to consider it a minor revision. Even though it's a change to the plan, certainly it's different than what was previously approved. It's in keeping with the spirit of what was approved, and we quite frankly think it's better.
The numbers state that it's better.
I'm open to what you.
You're waiting with bated breath.
I'm waiting with,
Your
yes,
comments,
no,
okay.
because you did run with
Yeah.
this the last time.
I did,
We
I
had
did.
a lot, and we had had some input from the building inspector and from the DPW superintendent at the time. Did they see this, or did you just send it here?
We submitted, Neil isn't here, you recognize Rob as a different face.
Right.
Also from Rob Ross Associates. He's the one that had actually been the math behind a lot of the drainage portion of the plan. But to answer you, we believe, we submitted 10 copies, we believe they were disseminated.
And did that go through you?
Yeah.
Did they get disseminated through? Okay.
Well,
So
I
then-
haven't disseminated them yet. Mark Wetzel has a copy. Charlie
Okay.
has a copy. The procedure is to wait until the date of the public hearing is set. Then I send them all out because then I know when they need to get back by. So,
Okay.
But I
generally it's-
specifically asked you to send them out and not to wait for the public hearing. I specifically asked you that.
Yep, and I did not.
And you didn't do it.
No.
You-
I
Yeah,
did give a copy to Charlie and Mark Wetzel, but I'm waiting until we set the public hearing to disseminate the rest of
But
it.
that wasn't your decision to make. I specifically asked you.
I am the administrator, Mary.
No, you're not. No,
Yes,
no,
I
no.
am.
You are not the administrator. You are the
Okay.
administrative assistant to the Board of Health. You are not the administrator.
It's within my purview to
No.
handle this.
No, it is not. You do not, but
And
that's
So
why
we have to
I-
start the discussion after.
No, no,
This-
I specifically wanted this because I wanted to see, it makes it easier for everyone if we had the comments.
Well, we need to
And-
know
and-
how we're going to proceed.
Excuse me, excuse
We
me.
need to know how we're going
Excuse
to
me.
proceed before
Excuse
we
me.
have those comments.
No.
Because
No.
what are people responding to? Mary?
It makes it easier for everyone when we have something first. Pam, when you looked at this, because the last time, you
Yeah.
had a lot of questions and you had things involved and you voted against it.
Yeah, so let me give you an idea
I
of
want to know when
what
you,
I
that's
So-
perfectly all right.
I went up and took a look at what Jane had plans. Thank you very much for giving a nice bulleted
Yes.
list of differences because I was dreading having to line up these two drawings. So that was very good. We have
Yeah.
a detailed listing of the differences. We also have a new operation and maintenance plan for the area. So the things that I was looking to make sure were present were indeed present. You also have, of course, your drainage calculations and you're addressing stormwater here. So my word back to Mary was, yes, it looks like we have all of the documents that we need. We don't need to ask you for any additional documents at this point. I'm glad that DPW and building inspector has the plans. Those are, I think, two really important pieces of feedback. One of the kind of quirky things, and I don't know how to resolve this, I think it's going to take a discussion with Mac and Charlie, so DPW and building inspector respectively. In the bylaw that addresses aquifer district, it specifically excludes, and as you know too, the pavers are not permeable. It's semi-permeable paving because there are spaces in between the blocks. I mean, the blocks aren't porous.
Correct.
The bylaw that is administered by the selectmen, and which I believe the building inspector works to, specifically excludes semi-permeable as something that you can count as, decreasing the amount of impervious surface. They say pavers are impervious.
Okay.
The Board of Health bylaw is silent on that matter. I personally think that in that area, and I don't live very far away, the soil is very sandy.
It is.
Those pavers are not going to hold water. So
Right.
I think for all practical purposes, they behave as at least semi-permeable, if not.
Yeah, if I could, just to kind of, what happens is the material that you use in the open joints has a higher infiltrative capacity than if you have a 4-inch square block. The runoff rate coming off of that block is far below the infiltrative capacity of the material around it.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's porous. Like a porous pavement is the same thing. We still count it in our drainage calculations as being impervious.
Yeah.
Because you have to
Okay.
account for all the rain that falls onto it.
Yeah.
But yet the rate it can pass is higher than the rate hitting it. So that's the same thing with these. So while you could say it's impervious, and the blocks truly are, the runoff that comes off of it is allowed to dissipate more quickly than it can by running off, if that helps.
Okay. Is this the kind that has the little, there's like little spaces?
They have,
to
yeah,
make
they're-
sure that you have
correct.
Right.
Yep,
little
they're built
wider.
with a little nub.
Yeah.
So on all four sides, or however many sides there are, there's the little spacers. So when you put them together, you can't not have the joint.
Right,
the
right,
open
right.
joint.
You've got to have that little gap.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think that should count as permeable, especially in an area where it has such sandy soil.
Mhm.
But I don't know how we resolve those two, so I would want to talk to the building inspector.
Pam, resolve which, is it a certain bylaw that the
Yeah,
selectmen are
there's-
using that's different
We
from?
have a funny situation here where Board of Health has a regulation regarding the aquifer. The town of Ayer in the zoning bylaws also addresses aquifer. And there are a few quirky areas that are different in the two. And this, what constitutes impervious surface is one of those quirks. So our regulation is silent, but the zoning bylaw says specifically that these, the semi-permeable paving systems are considered impervious for their purposes of determining total impervious area.
Now, just to kind of the bigger picture on that, how does that impact the permit that we've already been issued? I don't believe we counted the paver system as impervious area when we said, there was a reduction. But you're saying under definitions under the zoning bylaw, they would
Yeah.
be counted as, I guess in terms of the aquifer special permit, regardless of how we report the impervious area, we're over the threshold to need the
Right,
special
exactly,
permit.
you are. So it's a matter of how much over are you.
Right.
The number's going to be different for one versus the other.
Right, and it may, I don't know where the number would put us if we did say, I don't know, I'd have to do some quick math.
That's one of the things I was going to ask you if you could do for us. is
Yeah.
Just give us, if you considered all of this area that has, these,
That if
If
that
you
were
consider all
impervious.
of that as impervious, then what are the numbers? And then at least we'll have the numbers to talk to building inspector. about, because he enforces the zoning, piece of this. Yes.
With two questions, the Board of Health, with them being silent, at least on the written guidelines of impervious pavement, considering it or not, we're providing, I guess, engineering references to the fact that these are permeable and allow water to go through. So the fact that it maybe isn't stated in your bylaw or your requirements as a body, a governing body, that this is maybe something that, it's something you may want to talk to them about. But aren't we going to talk to the planning board anyway about this stuff?
You are. I just, because we have a regulation and a bylaw that addresses the same thing, I'd just like to ask.
Do you know, we met, and this leads me to the second point, that I think you've seen that we've demonstrated every single time we've gotten together that, number one, we'd like to do this project, but number two, that we wanted to be amenable to all of your requirements that were within your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And but now we're a year later, and time is absolutely of the essence.
Yep.
So, my hope is that some of these issues that have been brought up will percolate to the surface through maybe Charlie at the building department or Mark at the engineering department through our next entry at the planning board meeting. So, we feel we presented a revision. It's has some changes. Yes, it's moved in the right direction according to what we have available for the engineering information, as well as what's within your requirements to rule on. And we'd like to go on to the planning board.
I don't know if you need a motion or whatever. My personal recommendation is the previous permit was geared to a specific plan, dated plan. It had certain abatements in it. It had an operation and maintenance plan that was specific to that, the whole site plan. I think this needs to be done as a new permit because it is very different. And we've got a list of bullets here.
A lot of that was meant to highlight, I think, for your ease of review.
Yeah. But there are differences.
But there's some things that actually got easier if you were to refer to, say, the maintenance plan as an example. The rain gardens are gone.
Yep.
So this is an easier plan, more costly for us to implement, but it's become a more aquifer friendly. And I'm no engineer. I can only look at the numbers from the results of their analysis that says this is more aquifer friendly with a very similar building footprint, access to the roads. Again, a lot is very similar.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just coming from a place where it's not my aquifer or Mary's or yours. It's the town's aquifer. So I think that
agreed and understood.
The town needs to.
But
have
what on the numbers,
public hearing.
Pam, don't tell you that this has gone in the right direction for the town.
It's not a matter of going in the right or the wrong direction. I haven't even done that analysis. I'm just looking at, you have a permit that is tied to a plan with a specific date, and one of the conditions of that permit is an operation and maintenance plan with a specific date. I don't think that this group is equipped to say on its own, oh, this other plan that's okay because it's better, without at the very least doing a more detailed analysis of this. But I think because the permit is tied to a plan, it's tied to a site plan, it's tied to a maintenance plan, I think when you change those underlying documents, I think you need a new permit.
Could the board stipulate that the people that you rely on as your internal counsel see the plan and just decide on it as part of what takes place at the planning board meeting? I mean, they still they're going to get the same set of plans again. I'm asking that we rule on what we can with our expertise in this room, and then rely on the people in the planning board side of it when we get to that point.
Well, the planning board is going to look at their issues, and they're going to have a public hearing. I think as far as the aquifer is concerned, what we need the public input.
But you rely on Charlie and Mark for that for the most part anyway.
We rely on their technical input, yes, but we also rely on public input, which we really didn't have very much the last time. I don't know if we had any. I don't know if that would be the same or different this time, but I don't feel comfortable circumventing the public's right to have that input.
If I could, you do have the ability, I believe, under the special permit to say, we can consider this a minor revision and tie these documents to it's that right. You could vote on that. And if the members felt that it wasn't a minor revision, then we'd have to come back in and ask to modify the original special permit. Our thought was that this was an improvement. It's in the spirit of the conditions of the original special permit. So in essence, they could govern the project in the aquifer as approved, with the same, presumably most of the same conditions. And that's really what we're asking. We're not asking to circumvent anything by any means. It's more in the spirit of, just trying to get our ducks in a row. The planning board won't hear us until we've been heard by you. So we're just trying to move things along, certainly not trying to circumvent anything.
Yeah, I understand what it is that you're asking for. You're saying it's better. It's better. So allow us to do this under the old permit because
exactly. Not even necessarily that it's better. In terms of we feel it's an improvement, it makes a minor change. We're not increasing square footage of buildings. We're not adding more pavement. Everything we've done is, compared to the other plan, is a benefit to the aquifer in terms of treating stormwater with porous paver system. It's an expensive system. There's a lot of stone that goes into it, so it's not anything we've taken lightly. And so in terms of, while the plan and the information that was submitted is extensive to a degree, in the spirit of the permit that was approved, we're asking to look at it as a minor change, which you have the ability to do.
Yeah, I guess it really comes down to what do we consider major versus minor. I'm looking at this from the very top level, and I'm trying to take off my engineering hat when I look at this and say, to the layperson, we have a drawing. It's got a rain garden. It's got recharge in certain areas. We have another plan. Oh, there's no rain garden. There are the recharge chambers are in different locations.
But
That
the
seems to
numbers
me to be
assimilate that
significant.
change. And I don't know where else to get those numbers, but it's there, they're...
I don't think you need to get any more numbers. I think we just need to follow the process.
Okay,
I think
what
you've done a
is the
very good
process?
job
What
of getting
what
it.
is the process? We submit plans. They should have been disseminated. Everyone should have had their input prior to this meeting.
No.
And
no,
we should
in fact, the point of putting this on the agenda, I believe, Mary, was to discuss, kind of get an overview of what it is that you're doing, what your position is, and then talk about an appropriate date for.
And as I said, I was hoping that if there were any comments from Mark and Charlie,
Yeah.
that we would have them.
Yeah.
Because sometime when they say something, it gives us another thought and we ask a question as a result of that. Trying to make it easier for everyone, Mark, and get this done. Now, obviously, the planning board meets this week, so forget that. They're going to look at it and say, well, we don't have anything. And unfortunately, in the month of April, due to town elections, the Board of Health only meets once. So we didn't have 2 meetings for the month of April.
So, did this then, Jane, this went to Charlie and Mark, like?
I gave it to them last
We
week.
looked at this last week, right?
Yeah, no, a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks. They came in the day after our last meeting.
Okay. All right, all right.
I did.
And, Mark but my, thing has been, we need to set a public hearing, and most of
Yeah,
this
I got you.
discussion.
I'd like to put this on record that I went and saw Mark because I had understood that plans, he hadn't seen the plans. And I asked him what he thought, but that's up to you guys to talk to him. Just the fact
Right.
was that he had not received any copies as of when I saw him on Friday.
That was this just this past Friday?
Yeah,
That's correct.
Okay.
he has them now.
Yeah, you got him from,
So we didn't have them last Friday.
I gave them to him last Friday. In person.
and very well, may have. He may have already had another copy at 9 o'clock in the morning when I met with him.
Okay. So the question then becomes, from our standpoint, do we think that this is something that we can do administratively and just make a change, I guess, to the existing special permit, or do we feel like it needs to go through the process again?
I would have liked to have heard what both Mark and Charlie have to say too. Although we rule on
That's right.
our health regulations.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
And again, just as you know, I mean, this goes back through the planning board, and Mark and Charlie and the other departments will again all comment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it will be fully vetted.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that, We utilize them as,
Understood.
some support for us. Then perhaps what we do is speak with them in the interim and decide next week. If we think that we want to entertain the possibility of making this just a modification to the existing permit, I could do a more detailed review of the changes and talk to Mike and Charlie as part of that, and perhaps have that for, we meet again in 2 weeks, right?
Yes, we do.
Because next
week's town
Next
meeting.
week's town meeting, and then we meet after that. So if we did that,
The 15th, that's the 15th.
So that would that be after, that would be, the planning board wouldn't see?
We're not.
yeah,
No.
plan-
No.
We're
it's
not-
not-
This is
we're not
just,
thinking about
yeah,
the
because you
planning
said
board.
that's coming, okay.
yeah.
I think we need to set a date for a public hearing.
Excuse me, we don't even know if we're having a public hearing. I don't want to hear a public hearing again. You will get
I
those
should-
at,
Okay, I should have set a date for the public hearing.
no, you don't do that.
I do.
No, you don't.
Talk to Robert and talk to Carly.
They don't run the Board of Health.
Okay,
And you and I had this
This-
discussion last week. I asked you what to do, and you just totally ignored me.
yes, I do.
Rob, yes, you did.
Because I was listening to other people who have really more say in this.
Actually, they don't. Robert has
Okay.
no control of the Board of Health, nor does Colin.
But they supervised me, Mary.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
All right.
This came in
So if you've resigned from the Board of Health, then let me know as the administrative assistant.
I
They
haven't
don't-
That's
resigned
later.
from the Board of Health at all, but I'm just,
Well, they don't,
I'm just telling you that part of my job description is to set these hearings.
when we
And it's-
decide, it's not your time. So Pam, what exactly would you like to see? And I'm sure that they will send it to you. Or you'd like to review something and,
Well, because the question is on the table, do we need another, I'm going to say it, public hearing for this, or can we do it without a public hearing by modifying the existing permit?
Right.
So maybe what we should do is consider and, perhaps vote on that. I think there are enough differences to the naked eye, to, perhaps to the, non-technical eye, between just the underlying documents, that there should be another public hearing on this. So that's my recommendation, is that we do the full process and we do another public hearing. As chair, you have the option, I think, of deciding that we can at least consider doing this as a revision to the existing permit. And if we did that, then I would suggest that you give me the 2 weeks between now and the next meeting to do more of a technical review on these changes and be able to, report to you whether, once given a deeper look at this, is it really a minor change despite how different the drawings look? Is it really a minor change in terms of the aquifer, or isn't it?
well, the thing is that we have a time frame,
Yeah.
and you have to get it. If you want another public hearing, then we have to have the 2 week posting in the paper. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, and that's actually another reason why I'm kind of leaning towards doing the public hearing again, because if we take 2 weeks, do a more detailed review of this, come back and say, oh, geez, I don't know, I really think we need a public hearing. Now, how are we running with dates?
We're getting close.
Are we getting close on dates? So,
That's my concern.
So we
yeah.
should probably go with that then.
So if we have, I think that if we have any risk of running into a date situation, we should just schedule a public hearing. We can always cancel it if.
Well, I'm thinking
Yeah,
of
decide we
them
don't
too, and I'm thinking of time frame.
Yeah. So if we wanted to make the public hearing our next meeting,
I don't think there's enough time.
yeah,
You
what's
have
the
to
deadline to get
yeah,
into the paper?
You have to advertise it
Yeah.
2 weeks in the paper. So, yes, Mark.
Mary, is it still possible for the board to see that the vetting will take place at the planning board?
No, because the planning board, they're looking at the overall plan, and we're looking at our aquifer protection health district regulations.
But again, if some of the numbers that have changed in regards to the water permeability and then also the breaking process, are there, a contingent, not even a contingency, because that's too strong a term, but to say that, your objective is to protect the aquifer. Can that be done sufficiently through the review of these plans, through your resources, at a different step?
That step being, what, you're saying planning board?
Because it's
I
the
don't
two
think
guys
planning board
inside
will
that.
hear it until they have, I think it's a procedural thing. Planning board won't put you on their agenda until
But-
you've got your aquifer.
But
Now,
the
see,
nu-
this is the
No, I understand what she said, but I think that there are changes, but the plan has improved. The numbers that are presented are kind of clear in terms of covered space, impermeability, and building size, that it's all gotten, again, more beneficial. So, yeah, this is a revision more than it is a new public hearing. It's the same building, it's the same lot, it's the same almost everything. The same comparative numbers, or the analysis, I should say, is the same. All improved.
I mean, I don't want to sound mean to you, but of course the person presenting the plan is going to say that it's all improved. You're not going to
These
come to
guys
us and
would be
say,
crooked
this is
if
a
they were
worse plan than
presenting,
So-
fudged numbers. These aren't
No, but
fudged numbers.
I don't think that we're doing our duty that we're charged with if we listen to the developer who says, oh, it's a better plan, it's much better. Yes, it's
I'm
better.
not asking you to listen to me as much as what the numbers say. What else do you have to hang
I
your hat
don't
on?
look at the
What else
numbers.
is
I just
dark?
added up the number of bullets and looked at the different plans.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the numbers yet.
A simple is, I guess, as simple as I can offer it to you is if you feel that you can control and protect the aquifer based on the special permit you've already issued, which we're working under the spirit of in designing, we feel under that in better, you could make an administrative change to include the latest under that special permit. If you felt you needed stronger language in your special permit than what's already there to provide a greater level of protection or the same level of protection that we offered previously, then you'd have to modify the special permit. So I guess my take on it is hopefully the special permit was worded in such a way that you feel there's an adequate level of protection already.
The special permit wording, it's tied to a specific, it's tied to these plans dated, whatever.
I understand.
So it's got to be modified anyway.
Right, and
No
you
matter
can,
which route
you
we
can
go.
do that administratively to include the new documents that have been submitted.
Is that
I have
setting
no idea
a
what that
precedence?
process
Is that
is.
setting a precedence? Has it ever been done? I mean,
Oh, have we done that?
We haven't personally,
No.
the Board of Health, no. But we've never had anybody change
Change and
something
come back.
After we've issued a
Yeah.
permit,
yeah.
we've never had anybody come back with a modification.
I don't know. Seems to me we just run through, we have a process, we run through the process.
Is there nothing in these deadlines either, as far as special permits? That was granted on what date? And here we are at,
You mean like does it?
does it not exist after a certain point where it hasn't been, what's the word?
Well,
Does
if
it
you-
expire?
Does, like an expire if you have not started on that, you were granted that
Right, like a
permit?
building permit?
And I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Okay.
I would tend to guess, no.
If he has submitted this, and if
Yeah.
we don't act on it in a certain period of time, it's in effect.
That's right. That's correct. So the date of this, Jane, was that the date that this
The
was like
11th,
the
yeah.
11th?
The 11th?
The 11th,
So it was 4/11
we have 65 days from that date.
to Board of Health. So we said we can't make it for the next meeting. We could, what's the next one after that? It's like the 20, it's not in June, is it?
No,
Well, the
no,
next
no,
meeting
it
is the
would-
15th
We
of
need the
May.
15th.
And then the next meeting
Monday would be
is
the
the-
22nd if you wanted to have a special night, would be the 22nd.
And then June 12th is our
We're
next
not going.
regularly scheduled meeting.
Oh,
we only have one meeting in May?
No, you didn't hear what I said.
No, I think
Okay.
I got it.
No, okay. we're meeting tonight. Next
Yeah.
week is town meeting. If you wanted to have another public hearing, keeping in mind what we have to do to get it in the paper,
Yeah,
we would probably then be talking about having an extra meeting for just that in the month of May. Because our
Okay.
next meeting is the 15th, and we don't have
and then
time
we,
to
and
advertise.
we don't
the
have
public.
another one in May.
No, correct.
Our next
Okay,
meeting
right.
is June 12th.
June 12th.
Our meeting
Okay.
on the 15th, as I've been trying to say,
Okay,
would be
I got it.
too soon to get it
5:15.
into
And then it's
the
6
paper if you felt we needed to modify this
But I think
and
June
have
12th
another.
is, June 12th is within the 65 days.
So
It is,
Just.
Within 65 days.
and the meeting has to be opened within 65 days. Okay, we've got published beginning at least 14 days prior. Oh, it's not just that you have to publish 2 Fridays, you have to publish beginning 14 days prior to the public hearing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why we couldn't
you
have
have to
it
get
I
on the
gotcha.
15th.
I'm hung up on the 2 Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you have to get the notices out, you know, you
Yeah.
would have to
Yeah.
do the abutters.
Yeah, I got it. I think I would do a public hearing on the 22nd. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of changes. I think that it leaves us open to, unless we do an awful lot of work documenting why, exactly we thought each one of these, and then in the aggregate was better. I think it leaves, open to criticism of, how could you possibly look at these 2 plans that are so different and decided, we'll just amend that previous special permit. So my recommendation would be that we do that choice of doing do a public hearing just for this, for the 22nd.
May 22nd?
Yeah. Because
That would be an extra night here.
Yeah, it would
And
be
I
an
don't
extra
have a
night,
problem
yeah.
doing an extra.
And that would still allow you to get to, because you're not going to get in front of the planning board in
Thursday.
May.
No.
It's this Thursday. So that would still, if we did this,
Are they only once a month?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
their next one is the second Thursday?
They meet usually the first Thursday.
Okay.
Once in a great while over the times I've come to meetings, if something special happened, they've had a different date, but generally theirs is the first Thursday of the month.
So,
Perhaps we can convince them to put us on their June agenda, knowing that we have something scheduled with this board.
yeah, that might be a way to go if you could maybe get something to Mr. Fay. And it sounds like you were saying, well, let's maybe do something on that May 22nd.
Have a special night. That would be
Yeah.
That
when
gives
we
us
have
the
to have a
time now,
public hearing. If
this week, to get the special, the public notice out
Right.
with the proper timing,
Yeah.
the meeting on the 22nd, and still make that next meeting.
You should
with-
still be able to get it to
The next planning board.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they'll allow us.
Why wouldn't they?
I would think they would.
Do they require, Jane, significant lead time?
No, I think you just have to talk to Sandy. She'll get you on the agenda.
I think what's important here is that they've said they won't even hear us or see us
No.
until we've come back to you.
Procedurally, you have to see us to have the aquifer protection.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
And you have to have that in hand before you can go through
I think
the
that's what he was
process.
saying.
yeah, what
That's
I'm
what-
saying is
Yes.
I'm hoping they won't put us off to the July meeting.
Oh, I don't think they would.
So I don't know if there could be any kind of correspondence between boards to the degree that, the Board of Health says
There's no
we're,
reason why we
Yeah,
can't do this.
I'm sure we
Send it
can.
to them.
Yeah.
that would be much
And
appreciated.
let them know
Yeah,
that we're
just-
doing the May 22nd
Yeah.
special permit.
And then Pam, in the meantime, if you see anything, or it sounds like you're still going to proceed with your vetting with Mark and Charlie, the sooner you can do that, the better. It'll help us respond
Yeah.
and make sure that we hit the 22nd with approval. We'll do our best to respond to what you're looking for approval, and then hopefully on to the planning board for the 12th.
Yeah, because if we approve this on the 22nd, the issuing of the special permit can happen.
I know, but
Very
in
quick.
order to help us get approved, if there's something you see, that due diligence on the front end, like this
Yes,
weekend,
yeah.
so that we can
Certainly.
respond.
Certainly.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
whatever meetings with Mark or Charlie,
Yeah.
way sooner than later.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And is 5:30 convenient for everybody? Because if it's not, we can make it at
That's
any hour.
Monday before Labor Day. The 29th is Labor Day.
Memorial
Oh,
Day.
Memorial Day.
Oh, right, thank you.
Yeah. Don't wish this on
We heard that same mistake at home today.
When our
One of my
summer.
daughters busted my wife's chops for it. Okay, yes, we are Memorial Day.
So it's.
Oh, is May 22nd Memorial Day?
No,
No,
it's the
It's
fall.
29th.
No,
Is
it's the-
is 5:30 convenient for you?
Perfect for me. I love 5:30.
Yeah,
yeah.
5:30 is good.
Okay.
All right, so the 22nd. Thank you.
In terms of procedurally, I wasn't involved with the first special permit to who handles notifying, because we'll have to notify butters that the hearing's being reopened essentially. Do we do that?
Yeah. I give you the
Do you send us the
wording.
notice? Okay.
Yeah, I can send you
Yeah.
the notice. You get it out. You have to come up with the abutters list.
Okay, so we'll have
Yeah.
to get a new butters list.
And you need it to send it out certified mail.
Yeah.
Along with your, that cover sheet with the bullets, did you get an updated or reference to what portions of the management plan
Yeah.
would be updated?
Yeah, that's in there.
March 2017.
So at this point, Pam, is there anything that you saw with your preparation for our meeting that you thought was unclear to you?
No. I think you've given us pretty much the same that we had previously. And it would be the same idea, right, that this would be done by the current or future owners, yeah. Yeah,
Is it fair to assume that the abutters list is the same as what we would have used with the planning board also?
I think they're
No,
only good.
go to the assessors, yeah.
They're only good for 60 or 90 days.
Yeah.
and we need to get a new one.
yeah.
Okay. So do we get that from
From the assessors.
The
Yeah.
assessors.
assessor's office? Okay. Do you remember if my office did it the first time, or
Your office.
we did?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think you guys handled the,
Yeah, we handle all the certified mailing. We get the notice from the office.
You get this notice that's, I think it's exactly the same as what we run in the paper.
right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have,
No, she's going to send me a new
got
one
it?
Yeah.
with the new date and
I
time.
have to,
right.
I have to write it up,
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
That's fine.
all right.
So we're all settled then for,
And I'll get that.
For May,
in.
May
Yeah.
22nd.
Great, thank you.
yeah.
Thanks, Jane.
You have my card with my email address.
I don't, did you give it to me? Yeah.
I did.
think you did. Yeah, I've said this twice, so, yeah. I put all the cards in here.
Okay, well, thank you.
Let me just
again.
make
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
That's us.
It's been a long
That's right.
process,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thanks so much.
Have a good night.
You too.
Okay.
I guess that's why I was looking at this. And I had a question about like an expiration, starting all over again with the
Yeah.
permit process, because,
I don't know. I don't know. I know a
It's-
building permit doesn't run forever if you don't.
well, because it says SPGA shall make a decision within 90 days of the close of a public hearing,
Yes.
unless there is a written extension in hand from the applicant. So that was a written extension.
see, the other things run out. They have to have that to go to the planning board or to the zone ZBA or whatever. But those things have expiration dates. So once they've got their special permit from us, they're okay, unless there are changes.
Right.
And there are changes.
And there are a lot,
Substantive
like,
changes,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. What was his name?
Yes, I do. Let me see.
Is it another Mark? No.
His name is Robert E. Oliva.
Olivia?
Oliva. Oliva. Oliva.
And he's Russ's.
Yeah.
They've got a ton of them over there.
Yeah. And he's a project manager.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's now,
He's not, Neil's not,
Well, Neil's on vacation or something.
okay, so it's a
This guy
team,
said-
it's a team effort.
Yeah, but this guy said that he was in on the project. It sounded like he was more involved than Neil was.
Okay.
in the project,
okay.
like, for longer.
Mhm.
But, so he has
Okay.
history with the project.
All right.
They feel
Which
better
ones
about
did
that
you
now?
want back?
I do.
All of it, because
Okay.
I only have 2 copies
Didn't
left.
we need changes
And
to
I'm
that?
gonna have to make a lot of
saying
copies. You've got copies,
I
electronic.
did not print this, only because it was so numerous, the pages, but you did send it in
Well,
that last email.
why don't you keep that then? And I'll run other copies, because I'm gonna, I'm down to only, well, maybe I have 3 maps now, 3 things, but
So you can,
they gave me 6 copies.
not that I understand as much of it as you do, Pam, but with all these numbers, but,
No.
but no, when you did send it out the last time, and it was like a cajillion pages, I was like, whoa. So that's why I wasn't,
Right. Have an extra.
of that one?
The drainage analysis? I
Yeah,
think I might, because,
You printed out yours.
you printed out the whole thing?
yeah,
Okay.
What a good.
inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
I need
let's
this.
see. Let's just make sure
So I need
is
this
the same.
and
Project
this.
Number 3. The only difference
Yeah.
is yours isn't stamped, so I'll just
Oh, I
write
don't
on
care.
it
That's all right.
that town clerk stamped.
On the 12th.
Do you need any of this? This I keep. Thank you, thank you.
Okay,
All righty.
Okay. Yeah.
okay.
All
And
right.
The only other thing that I wanted to say, and Bridget's doing some follow-up on it, is, and she was with the animal control officer, was they had some complaints of rats over on Bly Street. And I think she had got a call one other time for a house over there, and I think I mentioned it at the last meeting. And it was, people could see trash from
It was a
the
hoarding.
inside and a
Yeah.
hoarding issue. And it was supposed to be that it was being sold,
Yeah.
and she contacted the bank. And when she gets a call like this, she often checks, especially when somebody mentions we can see a lot of trash and hoarding. She
Yeah.
calls the nursing to see, are you dealing with anyone at this property?
Yeah.
So they did go over there last week, Friday, and she has spoken again. I think that the sale of the property has been delayed, so again, she was contacting the bank to see what was going on, so we should probably have a follow-up for the next meeting.
Okay. is there any correlation between the rats and that property, or?
Well, I think there might be, I don't want to speak for her because she was not in today and I left the house. She was going to get back to me on Friday, but I was not home.
Okay.
That Bly Street, there's only a few houses on that street, and then isn't there a farm?
Yeah, across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she'll get back to us
Okay.
on that.
Is that, it's a bank sale? Is the bank selling it, or is it,
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Okay,
Gotcha.
all right. So that's all we have on that, and we can reorganize.
Do you want to finish what's on this agenda? Do you want?
I can
to switch
certainly
the
do
order?
that. I can
Correct.
certainly do that if you want.
Yeah,
And we
it
can
seems
do-
to make sense.
Yeah,
With
I
this
can-
smoother.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, on the minutes, I have a couple of corrections that I noted. If you want me to give you what I noted on the minutes. Hello? Okay, what I noted at the first part, Neshoba Big Brayley's material, and I think this is, if you look at the food permits, when she gives them or reissues them, they basically say the same, but if you read the minutes, it says M. Spinner announced that a permit to operate a food service establishment has been granted to Union Coffee Roaster. That makes it sound like it's a new restaurant.
Oh.
And it was just
Renewal.
it was the
Oh,
renewal.
it's a
of-
Oh, it's a
renewal.
renew.
I gotcha. Yeah.
And then where it says inspections were conducted and that should say Korean Rice Bakery. That's it, left out there. And then on the 38 East Main Street, it was just one apartment. So lead abatement is complete at the at an apartment on 38. So that he could rent out that one apartment. It wasn't the whole building, it was the one apartment.
Huh, what a difference a couple of weeks makes. No odor complaints from the soil.
Yeah. And then down where it says administrative matters, that was, I just announced to you that I was signing the invoice for the stipend, and we always pay it, as you know, Pam, it gets paid at this time every year because
Yeah.
it's for last year. So it shouldn't say after the members voice their approval because there was no approval. I just signed it. The
Oh,
approval
right, that
was
just
at last
happens. Yeah.
town
Okay.
meeting, so
Yeah.
that should be changed. So that's those corrections that I had.
Okay, well, I'll make those corrections and come back next time.
So if you
Amended.
agree with those, Pam and Patricia, we can approve it with the corrections.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then we can sign the official one next time if that's
Yeah.
okay with you.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. So that's,
We don't need a motion for that.
No.
Because we're not signing.
well, you can just make a motion to approve the minutes with the corrections.
Okay, then I move that we accept the minutes from the April 10th meeting with the corrections that we just described.
Second?
All right, it was moved and seconded to approve the minutes of April 10th, 2017 with the corrections we just discussed. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye. Okay. Then, I know on this we talked about the new marijuana laws, and there's been a lot in the paper,
Yeah,
if you've been
there has.
following it. Well, we knew that the control board, which is supposed to come under the treasurer, she has not been given any money to put that
Right.
together. Then we have another committee called the Policy Committee, which is supposed to be setting the policy for the new board. Then, since we met last time, there's been a suggestion by someone that we should have a board like the Gaming Commission. Well, the state auditor went absolutely ballistic on that. She said she was on the TV, I guess she was on the radio, she was quoted in the paper. She said they have absolutely no oversight, that they're, an entity unto themselves, and this should not be without oversight. Then they had some public hearings last
amazing.
week, and we were concerned as to, I think, was anything going to change? Was this going to be under public health? Because that was mentioned, and it's a twofold, that citizens petition was sort of twofold. One was made it so that anybody that was 21 and over could grow their own marijuana. And then there's the retail establishment, which towns are talking now about having a zoning law. So, well, as individual citizens, we can vote on that. That doesn't concern us. As part of one of the public hearings last week, John Hurst, and he's president of the Retail Association, and I didn't know this, he said that there are 140 cities and towns in Massachusetts that have changed the smoking age to 21.
I didn't know that.
He said what he's asking the state legislature is to make it consistent. That it's very hard for them as retailers when you could have, if it's not a state law, you could have a community be very strict and push it to 25. We haven't done anything about our tobacco laws because we haven't had a problem. He said, we'll work with it, but just make it a uniform state law that your regs are age 21. And he said, quite frankly, what you should be worried about is the vaping.
Yeah, there isn't.
Yep. Yeah. So I thought that perhaps we should think about it and see if maybe we want to send anything into our state legislature, state senator, state reps. He does have a point, and I mean, nobody's trying to make it hard. And if you read what's in the press, some of the cities and towns think this is a great thing for our abandoned mills and stuff. We can have growing facilities, and we can have retail, and we'll be rolling in money.
I saw something about the whole marijuana cafe idea too, like they have in Amsterdam. You're on the premises, you come, you buy, you smoke, you have coffee, I guess.
But I can understand where they're saying, just make it easier for everybody, have a state law, have the age, and we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
and rather than going from, so.
It
town
seems
to
like it would
town.
make it a lot easier for, especially the chains, where, you know, you might have employees, I don't know if the employees are always at the same place, but if, you know, in this town, it has to be this.
Well,
and
I think
that.
that's what he
Right.
was trying to point out.
Yeah,
We might not like it, but we'll deal with it.
yeah,
But
It's
gonna-
easier
It's
than
gonna
having
have
a
to be a
patchwork.
state
yeah,
law,
Yeah.
not an individual community. So
Yeah,
think about
yeah.
that and see if we want to do something.
Yeah, that is an interesting person.
So that was what I had to say about that.
I can't believe it's 60 days until July 1st.
I know,
60
Oh
days!
my God.
I know.
And they can't get out of their own way.
No.
No.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's amazing.
They can move fast on some things, and then other things, I've been reading, you know, you read in the paper and you see, oh, this was presented to the last session, and
Oh,
it just
yes,
died
yeah,
because
I
nothing
know.
was done, you know.
Yep,
That's
they
the
was
last
just-
session was 2
Send
years
them
ago.
to committee
so-
and they die.
And I
Yeah.
think there's so many things that they didn't think about that are popping up, like you said, and now there's the whole vaping thing that comes under a different, you know, I mean,
It's also a matter of if they had started doing something when the law was passed.
And we've said this.
rather than pretending it's just going to go away.
well, how do they do it in Europe? Has anyone looked at a model? I mean, well, now we have Colorado where
They went out there.
yeah, and they
A whole group
didn't,
of them
they
went out
still
there.
Several other
can't, they still
states,
can't
yeah.
get that.
But the church, remember that what happens is somebody calls up their state rep or the state senator and says, you know, we would like to do this. Can you introduce a bill for this? Nothing gets done.
Right.
And they call, and different people call from different areas. So that's why you get a citizen's petition. And that's a lot of work to get together, a citizen's petition.
It is.
You know, and now they're feeling frustrated again because they went to all this work, it listed
Yeah.
specifics, and now they're all up there trying to change the whole process again.
Yeah.
When you know that there's a citizen's petition being done, start planning, but they
Yeah,
don't, and
I
it's
know.
just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Like you said, here we are now.
yeah,
Everyone's going to take a break for the summer.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So-
They're talking about adding another layer of taxes
Of
that, you know,
course,
on top of it, which doesn't surprise me.
no.
Everyone has to do it.
Everybody's got to get their cut.
It's really
Yeah.
all about the money piece.
Yeah.
Who's going
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
reap the benefits?
What are the selectmen? Do you have any idea what have they been discussing?
I told you the 2 times I brought it up,
Yeah.
and they're looking to, according to the meeting last month, of bringing some type of bylaw, but that would be for a district, I think. And what town councils have been saying to various towns is, oh, wait until they get, you have until 2018. It's July 1st, 2018 that this all goes into effect. So, you know, you need to do something now. And if they need to do something, they need to do it for the fall town meeting. Because they didn't do anything for the spring. So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay.
And I know they've discussed it at other towns because I've been reading what was going on at their town meeting, and a lot of them are just having a moratorium and waiting till the fall.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense to do a lot of things until the state kind of sorts it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And
I
the
think it's
only
something
thing,
we should keep on our agenda.
oh,
Yes,
yes,
keep it
yeah.
on.
Absolutely.
Gotta pay attention.
But I think the one thing makes sense, though, as far as it going to 21, and then we don't have to have another public hearing. We don't have to do anything as far as our tobacco regs, because it's a state reg, and that's what
Right.
that gentleman, John Hurst, was saying.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was on that. Do we have any mail?
You have the mail. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't. I thought I gave it to you.
There you go.
Oh, it was Bridget's.
Yeah.
You can send us
Letter.
Yep.
I thought I gave that to you, Mary.
And this is, okay. Special permit, single-family home in the general business district, and it's for 9 Shaker Road.
Okay.
Seal Harbor LLC. This is from the zoning board. It's 9. Allow for a single-family home in a general business district. And it's-
Yeah, those go over to Bridget. But she wasn't in, so I
Where
just
is
put
that?
them in.
Shaker? Right on the edge. Yep,
Over by Harvard.
yep.
By the golf course.
So is it a number?
no, it says a single-family home.
Oh, this is that looks like an animal. Single family dwelling. But yeah, it's only got one house, 9 Shaker Road. Single family homes. 'Cause this looks to me like they've got several that
It just says a single-family.
existing house. This is where the Madigan's.
Oh,
uh,
okay.
So this existing
It's
house here
the
must
little
be the
Mad-
Madigan's.
Madigan's house is a little house, and then all the bigger buildings were in the back.
Yeah, so it must be that when you first come into the road there.
Yep.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with us.
No,
And it's
curiosity.
okay. And then this is an animal right?
Person or animal?
This was a person, and the owner was on Calvin Street, and it was a Yorkshire Terrier.
My mother has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ankle biter.
There's the,
Oh, yeah, we got that, yeah.
yeah. And then this was an operational plan for Pan Am. Yearly operational plan.
Railroad.
Weeds.
Oh.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't know if it's, I can't remember whether it was weeds or mosquitoes, but.
I think they do, they keep the brush off the.
Yeah, because there's always fires.
Defoliants.
There's always
And
fires
then
along those tracks.
This is having a public hearing. It was sent to Bridget on the 25th. It's a Hackney carriage license, and then in parenthesis it says livery and taxi,
Oh.
which is kind of different because there was a big to-do about one a number of years ago when somebody wanted to have a Hackney carriage license, and there was a taxi in town. It was a quite a room full at the selectmen's
Oh, I
meeting when
remember,
they
yes,
had that.
yes.
Yeah, because it's a kind of a different thing, and this is Top Tier Transportation, Stephanie Rindy, owner and operator. The purpose of this letter is to outline and confirm the proposed location and business hours of my business, Top Tier Transportation, as to please the requirements of the Hackney carriage license. The permit address, which my business will be located at 66 Park Street, Ayer. The office hours at this location will be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. However, we will operate 24 hours as to meet the needs of our clients and their pre-scheduled trip times. Feel free to contact me if you have any further information. And then it says, Top Tier, 66 Park Street, address of applicant 8 Brook Street.
Oh.
And let's see, vehicle of Dodge Caravans. One is a 2005, one is a 2008, and a 2007.
So is that different from is that, Hackney carriage is a cab, right? Is that
Yeah.
different from a limo?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, I
same
think
thing.
It's the
it's,
same thing, right?
well,
Well, I know when
Because what is Tim Hall? Is
he's a livery.
livery, yeah.
That's the, yeah.
Livery.
So what is the-
Which is a difference because you have to book him.
Right,
24
right.
Okay,
hours.
so
It
this-
isn't like he's going down
Yeah.
the street and you whistle.
Okay,
and say,
it's a cab.
Hey,
Yeah.
can you give me a ride to
Yeah,
such and
yeah.
such?
Yeah.
His is
Yeah.
a livery with an
I get it.
expensive license and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Very much
Yeah.
so. So she sent in the certificate of motor vehicle liability insurance, etc., all that, a letter of recommendation.
So if you had a cab, you'd have like
There wouldn't be 3 of them parked down in front of the Melody Shop jockeying for position.
And it says
My father
Stephanie,
was one of those cabs.
okay, a letter of recommendation, Stephanie Rindy worked at Ayer Package Store for more than 6 years. She began her employment as an entry-level cashier, exemplary conduct, all that. She thrives in business leadership, so that was from 44 Main Street. And then we have another one who she worked at an office in Leominster, so George Hanley, owner and manager of Liberty Tax, he sent a letter of recommendation, so.
That'd probably be a good thing.
And it doesn't, I think Bridget would probably look at it just to see was there something, anything
She did,
in a district, and there's nothing
Yeah.
for that. And then this is, of course, the stipend was
Yeah.
paid. And then this is the thing that Bridget commented on. That was the hacking.
Yeah.
And the operational plan, we know that. National Grid coming with their late winter, spring mechanical control, cut surface, and all that plan. And
Like
then,
tree trimming and stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
let's see. Oh, and then the came through from Michael with the
Oh, very good. Good. So she's legal, that's good.
yes. And
That's
then
nice,
let's
yeah.
see, this was
Give her
a
a card and
permit
card.
from Paul Ruthier, quarterly inspection of JP Ruthier, tire recycling, and that was from Kenneth Snow, the professional engineer. I think he's the same one that we get it from every year. He does the inspection.
Name sounds familiar.
And then we have the comments on the Shepley Hill landfill annual operation.
Oh,
And I wanted to
Maybe.
know if I should put those on the
I put
website.
all the Shepherds stuff.
Okay.
So this is from April 17th. Pam, did you see that?
I did not. I did not see that one. But if you post it, I will look there. We're interested or
Yeah.
used to now looking.
I'll
on it.
post
They
it.
know about
Yeah,
it.
I just,
And we had mentioned, I had asked you last time, I think, if you had any meetings, but this is
May
their,
4th, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, there's one Thursday.
Yeah.
This is the
It was coming up.
comments on the 2016 Shepley's Hill landfill annual operation
Yeah.
maintenance and monitoring report. So
Yeah.
that's that.
Okay.
Oh, we gotta make these corrections anyway, so that was the,
Oh,
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
sign
yeah,
them
yeah.
next time.
and then this is just the time sheet.
Supposed to rain tonight. Pretty good too.
Yeah,
I mean, like a
we
good
need it.
amount.
It's dry this year again.
Mm.
Doesn't feel like it, but I know the
Mm.
Yeah.
levels are still down.
Very high.
Okay.
Yeah, very dry.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all that. We can reorganize and then put whatever we want for the next agenda.
Well,
And I hope you both are going to town meeting.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
And what about me?
what's tell me what night?
Oh, you're going too.
night
We
are we
know
going?
that.
Yeah,
It's next
It's next
Monday.
Monday.
Next Monday.
Yeah,
Okay.
got your warrant in.
Better make
there.
sure we get
Yeah.
a quorum.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's at the high school.
Somebody asked me
Not here.
if I was going, and I couldn't believe they even asked me the question.
I know. What's a town meeting without Mary?
Well, I mean, I've gone for so long, and the
Yeah.
person said, I don't know, are you going to town meeting? Oh, I said, don't, I can't believe you.
Someone that
asked
doesn't
me
know you
that.
very well.
Asked me that question, so anyway. Well, while you're doing the reorganization, and maybe just for next time, we could just we'll do routine stuff for the next meeting.
Yeah.
We may have a follow-up, unless it got, and I haven't talked to Jim, but this was the day, this is May 1st, that they were supposed to go in and have a meeting in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that could have been changed.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to him specifically, but
Yeah.
maybe
That's
maybe
true.
we could stick that on. You can always omit it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like we
yeah,
said
yeah,
before,
yeah,
we
exactly.
put it on the meeting, and if there's nothing come of it, we just say there's nothing. So perhaps we should put that report from
Yeah, that's
Shelburne
true.
Associates
Yeah,
as to what's
yeah, we
going
probably
on
should.
with this plan. So that's all I can think of as far the next meeting, because it's pretty routine.
There'll be a RAB update. Are you going to go? It's at Devon's.
It's Thursday.
Yeah. So
Thursday.
if you want to go and you want me to pick you up, I can.
Okay.
But
Let me.
I'm going to go, so you don't have to go.
Thursday. Maybe I can get out of soccer.
You know what? If you decide that you want to go, I'll pick you up. Just send me an email
All right. Thank
or
you.
a text or something.
All right.
But
Thanks.
I'll go anyway. So.
It was pretty quick last time.
Yeah. Yeah. They have, we got our little notice here. They're going to talk about the groundwater remedy at the airfield.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to talk about Shepley's Hill, which kind of always
Always,
happens.
yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to talk about those PFAs
Yeah.
again. So apparently there's an upcoming site inspection to look at other potential release sites at Devon. So where else could that stuff have been
Popping up.
besides? Yeah.
Yep.
So-
Mm. Okay.
Oh, so what do
Okay.
you ladies want to do about reorganization? Are you getting tired of chair, Mary?
I'll do whatever you want to do.
I just want to go on the record as a newbie that
Oh, no, you.
I really need some more.
Oh,
I really need some more seasoning.
no. We don't, this is not like a turkey where you're basting it and put more seasoning in.
Check put this in the minutes.
Yeah, right. Put that in there, Jane.
By
Not baptism by fire. I really feel
fire.
like
It's been a year now. A year.
Yeah. You're well grilled.
I don't
You've
feel.
been marinated. It doesn't matter how you feel. You've had your trial.
I just feel like I don't know as much as Miss Spinner knows because you've been doing it so long and how
I couldn't
to
believe it when I
introduce
saw
things.
John come in tonight.
Oh,
Oh,
geez, I know. I bet.
yeah. So that's
He's
what I
one of the
mean. It's like
originals,
He
right?
was at Nasoya years and years ago before the whole thing changed.
Yeah.
And he used to come to all the public hearings because he always felt, well, you know, when the selectmen are setting the water and sewer rate or where they're setting the taxes, he kind of spoke for all the businesses. Now we have somebody from there sit on the water and sewer rate committee. So that's why when I saw her tonight, I said,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. And you weren't gray when I knew you last, you know? But it's funny because that's why he said he's gone the whole thing because it was Nasoya.
Yeah.
And then it became Vitasoy and then Vitasoy USA. And now they're back to Nasoya, a different thing. But he is familiar.
He
Yeah.
does have a lot of institutions.
Yes, he
knowledge,
does.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do have confidence in him that if he says he's going to, and I appreciate Dawn too, because
Oh, I know.
we all
Yeah.
went up there and we all got calls, and I think you might have had calls at night.
Yeah.
I know Heather did.
Everybody.
I
did.
know, yeah.
It was bad. It
Yes.
was really bad for a while.
And I
This
know,
is worse.
and
it just goes up and down.
And I know that, and of course,
It's all
they're
the
making just tofu now, you know, that.
Yeah.
And I know Bridget has come back at 7:30, 8 o'clock
I
at
know.
night. And
God bless her.
one of the other sanitarians lives here in town and he's gone, so,
Yeah.
but,
I always roll down my windows when I go by, just
Yeah.
out of curiosity,
yeah.
just to see what's going on there.
so anyway,
Well, if you're not feeling fully baked and set, and I can understand that because I was not in a big hurry to do. I can do it this year. I'm not going to wrestle you for it, believe me. But last year I had specifically said I couldn't because my travel schedule was just
Right.
I
crazy.
know
I
you
was
have
traveling all the
a
time.
deep schedule.
This year looks like I'm not going to have. I mean, it's May. I don't have any summer trips.
Good.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
So this could be a quieter. This could be a quieter year for me. So I could do it. I'm not saying I have to do it or even.
Make a decision, you know.
Make a decision.
No, just for anybody listening at home, I mean, it's not like we have a 7-member board.
Right, yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
calls
I
up
know.
everybody else and says, oh, who are you gonna vote for?
Oh,
Right? You know what I mean? Well, isn't that true sometimes?
Yeah,
just
I can
have
see
to-
it.
It's against the open meeting law.
Some people never go.
Right.
I mean, you know, you read the paper and you read, oh, well, you know, okay, I'm not gonna pick on them, but take a council where you have a city and they have
Yeah,
9 council members. You know half the time when you read about a meeting, you
Yeah.
say, oh, they discussed this when they were playing
Yeah.
cards on Friday night.
Right.
Or when they were golfing or something.
Right.
Because you know just by the time.
Yeah.
When you only have a 3-member board, it's usually ABC. So
Right.
Yeah.
it's, one time when Margaret was on the board, she said, I'm traveling too much, I can't do it. Please do it.
Yeah.
I said, fine, I
Yeah.
don't care.
Mhm.
So there we go.
I'm feeling a little guilty that I've been shirking. So,
I
I'm
don't
not there
think you
yet.
should ever feel, because I think when you have 3 people that it's good to have everybody that's in a different spot. Like
yeah.
because of my background in nursing, I tend
Yeah,
to listen
yeah.
to anybody that's complaining about anything health-wise or
Yeah.
anything that affects it.
Yeah.
You have a different type of background, so
Yeah.
you follow that.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready to put Tricia into some, we just haven't figured out where we're gonna put her yet. So
We're gonna put
that's
her
what it
somewhere.
is. But, it's good for a board to come together,
Yeah, it
to
is.
have different experiences.
We do have a really good, I think,
Yeah.
mix of
Yeah.
backgrounds.
A diversity,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that is a good thing. So, I don't know. It's kind of up to you, Mary. If you're feeling burnt out by it and you want to hand it off, that's fine. If you're feeling like you're riding high in the saddle and you want to continue the trip, that's actually okay too. I'm easy.
I never heard that about you.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
But
So, all right, so we're not getting anywhere, so
I know.
why don't, I'm gonna step down as chair for a minute, and I'm going to nominate Pam for chair for the next year.
I second.
Gee, she did that kind of gritted her teeth.
I
don't
didn't
know
want
if
to
she
hurt
was
anyone's
ready.
feelings.
I think she does, but she will not pull this next year that it's, I'm the newbie,
Next year.
because she's gonna be an oldie by then.
That's right.
Oldie. Okay, so it was moved and seconded to make Pam the
I'm
chair.
fine with
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay.
that. Cool with that.
All right, and then clerk.
You write such a nice hand, Mary.
You write nicer than I do, that's for darn
Oh,
sure.
no,
Look
you-
at this hem
no,
scratching.
You take good notes.
They're very disconnected. At least I make sure I throw dates and names in there so I can,
Well, I think it's hard when you're trying to listen to somebody
that's
Yeah.
my, that's my
Yes, it
issue.
is.
Yes,
in a
yes.
conversation to then have to turn it, and say, oh my God,
Yeah.
I missed that,
Well, I would like to nominate Mary as clerk because you do an excellent job
Yes.
of record keeping
That's true.
and you know so much.
Mhm.
You have so much institutional knowledge.
I second that.
Okay,
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
all right.
Was that
Was that aye?
I need
I'd
to
say-
write this down.
Well,
Not all right, but
I mean, you can project it and make.
say yes or no.
no,
it's up to you.
I'll do it.
Okay.
So that's
That was
right. Okay, good. I have to make the notes, and I have to know exactly
Yeah.
what I'm writing
Was that or
down.
wasn't that an aye?
Was it or wasn't?
So if I'm clearing this, so tomorrow, we'll get that order of conditions out. Bridget will have that, it'll go from there. And then they're
Yeah,
gonna
can you
take-
just communicate that to Bridget, and then I think that Are
And
you-
Jane can send the formal thing out, because Bridget was going to try and see if she could get back here tonight,
yeah.
but,
She's-
it's hard, it's hard.
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it as it is.
You know, and
Mm.
when we can do something, I mean, if it was really a horrible, Bridget, we need you back here.
Oh, yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
she'd
She
come,
does. Yeah.
or Jim would come if it was
Right.
that important.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, exactly.
and she has come back at
Yeah.
night, so.
Well, I would say we need to keep a really close
Oh, yeah.
eye
Yeah.
and ear on what's going on for complaints, because if these next 2
Oh,
weeks,
absolutely.
Yeah.
if it starts to bubble up again,
Well, that's why she kept
you know.
Well, you know
really-
what bothered me about this is, and I'm sorry I didn't do a side by side. It didn't occur to me till the meeting and everything. But my perception is if you put side by side what they said last year and what they said this year, they said all the same things. They said, "Oh, we haul it away. It's not on premises." It's like, really?
No, but
But did they
Well, but there actually are differences, though.
And I wish that I had thought to bring what was discussed last year, because one of the things that they discussed was, you know, how they were not, they were hauling it away in a timely way, and they were redoing all of the, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
But didn't they say they upgraded the, they're putting a lot more money into it, and also they're asking for more.
But they said all
Water.
those things last
Did they?
year.
Well, they put in a new production,
Yeah.
which was, I think, part of the issue here. And I don't think the planning for that.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like, okay, they did all these things, but then they were caught off guard.
Well, according to, I think his last name was Kim, the engineer,
I mean, I'm
this is
probably
like one of the biggest, tofu manufacturing
Yes.
lines in the world. So
Right.
I really expect that to go on completely smoothly.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to make a point to them that, if you have other facilities that, I think I know where their facility is in LA. It's in like City of Industry or something where nobody's going to smell this because it's just other businesses and nobody lives there.
And if you remember,
So,
the last time we had this, the big boss didn't get here to our meeting, remember, because he had a problem with connection. He made it to the selectmen's meeting the next night because
Yeah.
they put it on their agenda because
that's
they
right.
were so sick of it. And yet, I remember Chris was at our meeting because I remember exactly where he was standing
Yeah.
back there.
Yeah.
And that meeting was loaded. Everybody, all the residents spoke.
but that was the old management because that was the guy from Hong Kong.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
they're out of Korea.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that some of these things
Can't
are
find that copy.
different
Okay.
from things that they're.
I'm sure they
So
are.
I think that
I'm
the-
sure they are, but it was just the same kind of things.
Well, they're
Same
always,
response?
because those are always the things that
They're
you
always
do.
behind.
You do scrubbers and
Yeah.
and you do removal.
But I didn't
of
even
waste
think
and
about
all
it
that.
until,
I
but
have more confidence with John.
Yeah. What's
here,
his last name again?
Where
I have it.
W-A-R-E?
W-A-R-T, Wart, Ham, H-A-M,
Okay.
is that right?
no.
W-A-R-E maybe.
Maybe it's E. Yeah.
Like Wareham?
Wareham.
Like Wareham,
Yeah, that
Mass?
sounds
Yeah.
reasonable. And he's the.
Let me see if he gave me his,
I misplaced that copy, the
I
one that
have
has their heading.
their cards, and I think he gave
I
me.
think he did.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I always look at that. John Wareham. He is operations consultant.
Oh, okay. He came back as a
Consultant, okay.
Okay. Right, because the gentleman sitting right next to you was
The new.
Tom Perry is the chief operating
Yep.
officer, and Neil is the production manager. So. Yeah.
What was his name, Tom Perry?
Tom Perry, yeah. is the CO.
Yeah. Chief Operating Officer, CO.
The lady was here before, though.
Yes.
She
Yes.
was, I reckon,
Yeah.
right?
Laura Marcolini.
Okay, so we can talk about stuff for agenda, but I think it's just gonna be pretty simple stuff.
I do too.
Grab update,
You never know.
whatever Bridget has. Yeah, I know, you never know what might come on, but we'll talk before then for sure.
And we've got, so we know, I was surprised he was in a pretty good mood tonight, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, bunch different things.
I know. Well, I don't think he was happy that,
No,
yeah,
definitely not.
we're doing a new meeting.
I know, but,
I think we really have the right to do that. I
think
just
we
feel
need
like-
to.
well,
Exactly.
I don't think when we originally put him on that we realized, well, we didn't at the time, that there was going to be this whole thing with Ms. Sawyer.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
you would,
yeah, that took
you
up
would have
some
put
time.
that, like, schedule that for
Yeah.
6 or 6:30 or something. but,
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
these things happen. That's why I wanted to make it clear that
Yeah.
when we had this special meeting, it would be just a public hearing for them. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
a good thing, because
22nd.
then he doesn't have to wait through anything
Yes,
else, because who knows
yes.
what could happen with Miss Sawyer
Yeah.
or anything
Right.
else, so. All right, if we are all set,
Yes.
anyone want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we adjourn
8:05.
Motion has
8:05.
been made to adjourn at 8:05. All in
Second.
favor? Oh, yeah, do you have a second?
I did.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
3. Meeting is adjourned.